Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Samurai Jack Battle Through Time. Now this is a hack and slash action platformer RPG mishmash of fun based on the classic cartoon series that had a revival actually back in 2017. And the plot of this game, what is it? What could they add that's brand new to Samurai Jack? Didn't the series already end? Yeah, it did. A great little ending. That last season was fantastic. So what's the premise? Well, it literally starts at the finale where Aku is doing this huge speech. It's actually a cutscene ripped right out of the series, which we see a lot of this in the game. A lot of cutscenes with the original voice actors and everything in them. Oh, fantastic. But the battle happens. The finale happens. Jack is on his way back through time, but Aku interrupts his travel through time and forces Jack to revisit certain memories, points, locations, and battles throughout this series. It's kind of like a Samurai Jack greatest hits, so to speak. So it was kind of a creative and meta way to kind of give a little bit of fan service. If you're a fan of the show, you're going to see a lot of characters. There's a lot of fan service, a lot of characters, cutscenes, and presentation in here if you're a big fan of the show. So you're going to recognize some of this stuff. Now, the game is presented in a 3D format. So if you played any kind of like action 3D hack and slash game within the last decade or so, it kind of plays like that. Now, every once in a while, there is a 2D section that's similar to what you see in like old school like 2D games and stuff. But for the most part, it is a 3D action-oriented game. And it's presented like in a unique graphic style. It's I wouldn't say it's cel-shaded or hand-drawn. They tried to replicate what the Samurai Jack characters would look like in a 3D form, and they kind of used a real minimal type of graphic where this looks like it's a step above PS2 but kind of below PS3. like they purposely tried to make it look minimal as far as it goes, and honestly, I don't know how I feel about this look. It looks okay, but early in the game, some of the levels just look really plain, to where there's just nothing really nice to look at, especially like the first level. Eventually, the levels start to get a little bit better. They start to get a little bit more in-depth on the details. You'll see little things and notice little decorations and designs, and the stages start to become really fun with a lot of obstacles and platforms to move in, even traps in some points. Now, Samurai Jack himself, I think looks pretty legit the way he does. And the characters, like the enemies, they're taken right out of the cartoon. So you'll notice some of the monsters, the creatures that Samurai Jack has battled in the cartoon series make an appearance in here. The boss fights, stuff like that. And some of the fan favorite characters are also along for the ride. You'll find them. They'll give you items. They'll actually sell your stuff and give you training and stuff. And we'll talk about this again because there's actually quite a lot to dig into this game. Even though it is basic in its design, there's actually a pretty robust skill tree system and RPG elements in it that are kind of surprising, and while they're neat, at the same time I feel kind of out of place, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, the gameplay is pretty straightforward. It's a hack and slash. You have a weak attack, a strong attack, a dash, and a block. So if you played anything kind of like, I guess, action-oriented within the last few years, again, you'll be familiar with the way it goes. For the most part, combat is okay. It's solid, but you have to use this skill tree that I mentioned to even unlock basic combos and attacks, and I don't know. It just... Let's talk about... The problem about this is that the game itself is not very long. It's grind heavy, but not long. It's like a weird mixture. The game has about 9 levels. It takes, if you're hurrying, about 8 hours, maybe 10 to get through it. And the skill tree is needed and forced upon you when you go into battle in the game. The game's actually kind of linear as well. It's not open. You can't avoid battles. You get into these sections that close in, the perimeter closes around you. It makes it more like an arena combat, and you have to kill every single enemy. You're not allowed to proceed or progress further into the area until you kill every enemy. So this game forces you to fight every single enemy, whether it's 10 at a time, 20. Sometimes you get outnumbered big time, just like in the cartoon, which, okay, that's pretty cool because Jack used to, you know, beat the odds and slice and dice and just destroy everybody. But there's like different ways to upgrade. Like everything that Jack has in this game is somewhat in a skill tree or an upgrade system, from his training, his weapons, his ranged weapons. You have weapons and ranged weapons that you swap between in battle. You also have your physical like ability, your strength, your skills for combat, and other things. So there's a lot of stuff in here. You're gonna see like 6 different ways to upgrade, and there's all sorts of stuff as you progress to the level that you'll find. You'll find like skill points or skill spirits. You'll find coins. You'll find all sorts of things that are like floaty, glowy things that go towards collecting enough points to upgrade some of this stuff. So I mentioned weapons. You have melee and ranged ones. Everything from like bows, guns. You have scythes. You have maces. You have the sword. You can upgrade each individual weapon. They each have durability, so you're gonna break weapons in the middle of combat. It's gonna be annoying when your bow breaks, but upgrading them will allow you to have different skills for those weapons, different durabilities, make the attack strength better. And then on top of that, again, as I mentioned, your combat skills, basic combos, basic skills to like drop extra items when you defeat enemies, to decrease the damage you take, to increase the damage you give, is all unlocked through the combos, the skill tree system. And it's actually really in depth. This is a pretty big skill tree for as quick and small the game is. It kind of feels, I don't know, unnecessary. I think a basic hack and slash like the rest of the game is, that's linear, forces you to battle, shouldn't really have a level up system or a skill tree system. I could see maybe just the shop, buying items, buying new weapons, buying some moves and stuff, because that's coin based, but I just felt the RPG elements were kind of just strange. I don't know, to me it wasn't a game breaker. I just felt that the game didn't need it. It was kind of like, alright, it's a linear game, it's quick, there's only like 9 levels, why even do it? You can't even upgrade the whole entire skill tree, so you have to decide what weapon you want to focus on, what skill set you want to level on, and what you want to focus on with your character, because you can only level up so much in this game once you go through the areas of the levels. Now, there are some nice stuff, again, as I mentioned. For example, Jack, you know, when he gets beat up or takes damage, his clothes start to become damaged, his hair gets all everywhere, he changes his appearance. You'll run into the characters in the game, the fan service, the bosses, the cutscenes have nice voice acting, but then again, they're directed right out of the cartoon themselves. I would have liked the voice acting to be in the actual stages, the fan favorite, like all the side characters and stuff. Don't have voice acting when you're out there and you find them on the wild and talk to them. It's a text box, but there is some replay value for as short as this game is. You can unlock some challenges. You can replay everything on harder difficulties. I think there's like 4 difficulty settings. If you beat the game on hard, you unlock endless mode. And yeah, so there's a little bit of replay value here. It's just, I felt at times the game was quite a bit repetitive, especially because it forced you to do the combat. I would have liked it to have been a little bit more, less linear, longer definitely. But it's a game based on a cartoon, so I don't know. It's kind of, it just felt weird with what the way, because the gameplay and the combat itself was great. It was solid. The presentation, while I would have liked a little bit more of a hand-drawn and cel-shaded look, it was alright. And the levels, the level designs, yeah, initially they looked crappy, but once you got further through the game, they started to look better. So overall, it's just a pretty average game, I guess, a 7.5. If you like Samurai Jack, you probably will really like this. But for a action hack and slash game, it was kind of, it had potential. It's not bad at all. Anyways, you can even get a physical version of this through limited run. I think it's $49.99 physical on the Nintendo Switch. I think it's $39.99 on everything else, maybe even less. But I know in the eShop it's $39.99, so that's get it physical if you can. It's on limited run, but I liked it. I just felt the RPG elements were out of place, but 7.5 out of 10. What do you guys think? Have you played this? Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on the cartoon of Samurai Jack. What did you think about it? Did you enjoy it? Have you not seen it? Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to leave a like or dislike, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Peace out. Consider supporting 8-Bit Eric on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description. You want to become part of the hashtag 8BE Nation, guys? Well, be sure to pick up your official merch, now available online. Link is below in the description. We got classic t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, and even women's apparel. Don't forget, pick up your official merch now. And while you're at it, guys, feel free to watch the next video, or why don't you catch up on one that you might have previously missed. Thanks again, guys, for all the support. I couldn't do this without you. You guys are amazing, and don't forget to subscribe and click that like button if you are brand new. Thanks again, guys. Peace out.